I'm here with North Greenville women's basketball coach Jayne Arledge. Coach, your team is off to a good start, 3-1. You had a little bump last Saturday. How's the team looking so far this season?
I've been very impressed with our team so far. We're doing a good job. Like I said, we started off 3-0. We were playing really good. Limestone came in, played real aggressive defense, and took our shooters out of the game, and so that slowed us down. But hopefully, we're going to recover and do a little bit better here in the future. Okay,
well, Coach, we've never done too much television here at North Greenville, so we're trying to get you out there in public a little bit more, trying to do a little bit of explanation about what this show is really all about. Is to promote women's basketball out in our community and to potential future recruits that might be able to come to this community, and also to spread the word of the gospel through women's basketball, which is what we are very good at here at North Greenville. And Coach Arledge has been here for quite a number of years. So let's talk about the game against Limestone. The team came in, they played really hard, but your team played really hard as well.
We did play hard. We played a good game. They hit a couple threes down at the end of the game that really put us behind. We had a hard time throwing anything that last little bit in the ocean, it seemed like. But they were really keying on our shooting guards. They were letting our post be open a little more, not double teaming her as much. So we were trying to go to her, but then she was having a hard time guarding a girl that was like 5'8", and then that girl got hot, and we didn't do a good job of defending her, and so that hurt us.
Well, talk about your heart 2 games ago when Jaquetta Golan managed to tip one in at the buzzer there to win it for you. Are we all aging a little bit to know that might be a little bit tough for us?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I've been here long enough to know that your heart starts thumping really hard on stuff like that, and it was about to beat out of my chest. And it was so funny because we had 10 seconds to go, and they were shooting a foul shot. They went up by 1, so we took it out of bounds. We threw it to Jaquetta. She dribbled down. Her eyes were about this big. They were huge, and so she was just looking, begging for somebody to give that ball to. And so finally, Christina Carlos broke, and she gave her a bounce pass, and Christina went up for a beautiful layup, and that thing went in, rolled around, and kicked out. And when she kicked out, it was just like slow motion. There were 3 of their girls, and they just kind of stood there and looked up. And Quetta just came in from nowhere. I don't know where she came from, and it was just like slow motion. She caught it and just flipped it up all in one motion. It went in. I just, oh my gosh! And everybody was just screaming. It was a great feeling.
Yeah, it really is, because she's not one of your taller players.
No, she's in fact one of the smaller ones.
Yeah, so when you get a tip in, we say, by a small player, it makes it really kind of fun.
Oh, it was great. It was great. I mean, the girls, if they could, they would have carried her off the floor.
Well, Coach, you've been here for 26 years. That's quite a time to establish quite a legacy here. How would you compare this year's team with some of the other groups you've had over the past?
We've had some great teams throughout the years, but it's always hard to compare team by team because they're always so individually different, and each team does different things well. This year we've got we've got a lot of things going for us. We've got a great post player in Amanda Milner, who is All-American last year. We've got some penetrating guards that are quick. We've got shooting guards. So this team they have the potential to do really well. We'll just have to wait and see. It's still very young.
Okay, well, speaking of waiting and seeing, tonight you play Lander. Any kind of a rivalry situations right down the road in Greenwood?
Lander, we play periodically. They're not somebody we play every year. They're a very good team. It's going to be a tough battle. We're going to have to show up and do some really good things and catch them by surprise, I think, to beat them tonight. But if we shoot the ball well and we play, defend them up, then we may have a chance, and hopefully everything else will fall in place. But they are a very good team. We'll just have to wait and see.
Okay, well, we will see. Well, Coach, you mentioned your inside play. Let's talk about Amanda Milner and her play in the paint this season.
Year.
She's had a really great start.
She has had a great start, and that's the thing people have got to decide. If they're going to double Amanda, then that leaves our shooters open. So we try to always go inside out. That's always our game plan. Go inside. Then if they shut that off, then we'll kick it outside. She's such a force inside because she's hard to defend because she's a wide body, and so she can catch it, she can drop step and score, and she's almost impossible to stop if she catches the ball. And she's got great hands, and that's one of the biggest things about her is that we can throw the ball about to her anyway, and she can catch it. When half the time our passes are off her knees or her ankles or someplace like that, and she still does a good job of handling it and going up strong and scoring.
Well, you talked about the inside and outside game. She's been able to kick it out. How about the game that Carly Stacci had against Converse a couple games ago?
Oh, Carly got hot. And, Carly's a shooter. She's not really a streak shooter. And so, I said, well, Carly hadn't got hot at all. And my assistant, Scott, said, Coach, she's like 5 for 7 or 5 for 9. So she was over 50%. I said, well, because she missed one, shoot one, missed one. And so I was thinking, she hadn't hit 2 or 3 in a row, but she really had a great game, got hot, and if they don't guard her, she's going to score.
And she had 30 points against Converse. But you got a little bit of a change in your team just recently. You got 3 of your soccer players, or North Greenville soccer players, off of their very successful season have now rejoined the team. They practice periodically. Now, what are they going to add to your group now that your season has already started and they haven't really played yet?
Well, Bridget Smith and Miranda Key, they have just come back. They went to the regionals this year down in Miami and played down there. So they're not officially back. I think they'll be back probably after Thanksgiving. So they'll be, and be available. But then we also have Whitney who played on the soccer team. But then once basketball started, she had to quit soccer to come on and join us because we were in need of Whitney to play for us because she's a starter.
Another really great outside player for you.
Right.
Well, do you think the concept of a 2-sport athlete is still available at a place like North Greenville?
It's getting harder and harder. This year's been so much overlap that last year it wasn't bad. This year there was a terrible overlap, and it's hard on the athletes because each coach expects full go. So they would go practice 2 hours of soccer, and then I would expect them to come in and go 2 hours full speed of basketball, and so that's hard on the body. And soccer and basketball are not great, in that to be compatible because there's so much running involved.
Right. And you mentioned the Smiths, and you have 3 Smiths on your team. Now, Brandy Smith was lost to a knee injury earlier in the season. How do you keep them all straight?
I just don't say their last name. I barely say their first names and remember those, so I do a good job just keeping up with each person by their first name without having to know which Smith is which.